So we are going to solve for x, and tan x plus 1 over tan x is equal to 2. Also sin x plus 1 over sin x is equal to 2. And cosine x plus 1 over cosine x is equal to 2.5. So we shall begin with the first one. And in this case, we have to say let tan x be a. Can give it a certain variable. So then from there we can actually rewrite it as a plus 1 over a will be equal to 2. So multiply through by the LCM, which is a, we shall have a squared plus 1 is equal to 2a. Then let us rearrange it to form a quadratic in the form of quadratic equation. So this will be a squared minus 2a plus 1 is equal to 0. Therefore, we can actually get the product. We have to use factorization method to solve. So getting the product AC shall be a squared times 1, which is a squared. Then we get factors of a squared such that when we add we get minus 2a. And in this case we have a times a, which is we shall have minus a times minus a, which is a squared. When we add them we get minus 2a. So from there we rewrite the middle part in the expanded form, which will be a squared minus a plus 1 is equal to 0. Therefore we shall take them into pairs and then we factor out what is common. So in the first part of it we have a as a common factor. So a to bracket a squared divided by a, we have a minus a divided by a, we have minus 1. Then minus a plus 1, actually minus 1 is common. Therefore minus a divided by minus 1, we have that will be positive a. Then plus 1 divided by minus 1, we have minus 1 will be equal to 0. Therefore this will be a minus 1 multiplied by a minus 1, which will be equal to 0. Therefore it simply means that a minus 1 is equal to 0. Therefore a is equal to 1. But we said let tan x be a. Therefore tan x will be equal to 1. For us to get x, we need to find the inverse of 1, tan inverse. So x will be tan inverse of 1. If we use a calculator or mathematical table, we shall find the value of x to be 45 degrees. And that is the value of x. Therefore, we can move to the next one, which is solve for x plus 1 over sin x is equal to 2. So we need to solve for x. We do the same thing. You can always pause, do first, then you click play and continue to watch the video. So in our case here, we also say let sin x equal to, and I can still use a, no problem, provided you use any letter that you can feel comfortable with. Therefore from here we have a plus 1 over a is equal to 2. Multiply through by the LCM, which is a, we shall have a squared plus 1 is equal to 2a. Somewhere we do it. So from here we have a squared minus 2a plus 1 is equal to 0. Still we got the same as the previous one, the same equation as the previous one. So we shall always end up getting a squared minus a plus 1 is equals to 0. If we factor it out, we shall end up getting this, whereby a minus 1 will be equal to 0, and therefore a is equal to 1. But we said let sin x be a, and a in our case it is 1. Therefore we need, for us to get x, we get the sine inverse of 1. If you use your calculator, you'll end up getting x to be 90 degrees. Sine inverse of 1, that is 90 degrees. So that is the value of x. Then lastly, we look at the other part, and that is solve for x in cosine x plus 1 over cosine x is equals to 2.5. The same way we do it. So we say let cosine x be a problem. So from here we have a plus 1 over a is equal to 2.5. Multiply through by the LCM, we shall get a squared plus 1 is equal to 2.5 a. Rearrange it in the form of quadratic equation. We shall have a squared minus 2.5 a plus 1 is equal to 0. Since the middle part, the coefficient of a is actually a decimal point, but there's another way we can also rewrite it. That will be a squared is the same as 5 over 2 a plus 1 is equals to 0. Multiply through by 2, we shall have 2a squared minus 5a plus 2 is equal to 0. Now we are comfortable to move on. We use factorization method. Get the product AC. The product AC, that will be 2 times 2, we have 4, that is 4a squared. Then we need to get the factors such that when we add them, we shall get minus 5a. And in our case here, this factor will be minus 4a times, so minus 4a times minus a. If we multiply, we get minus 4a squared. If we add, we get minus 5a. Therefore, that's what we shall use in the middle part of it. We write it in the expanded form, and we shall get 2a squared minus 4a minus a plus 2 is equal to 0. Therefore, take them into pairs and factor out what is common. So here 2 is common and a is also common. So we shall have 2a. So 2a squared divided by 2a, we have a. Then minus 4a divided by 2a, we shall have 2. Close the bracket. Then the second part of it, minus 1 is common. So minus a divided by minus 1, we have a. 2 divided by minus 1, we have minus 2. Close the bracket, will be equal to 0. Therefore, take 2a minus 1, then we multiply by a minus 2. You can see they are in common, will be equal to 0. Therefore, either 2a minus 1 is equal to 0 or a minus 2 is equal to 0. So from here, 2a is equal to 1, and the other one a, or a is equal to 2. Now we need to see the validity of the solution, whereby a here is minus a half or 2. So which one will satisfy this equation? Remember, the cosine of any angle, the maximum is always 1. Therefore, 2 will be rendered invalid. Since if you use calculator to get cosine of a value like this, cosine inverse, it cannot go beyond 1. So this will give math error. So therefore, cosine x will be equal to a half. So x will be cosine inverse of, which is the same as 0.5. Using a calculator, you should be able to get x as 60 degrees. And that's how you solve this kind of questions in trigonometry. Thank you so much. I'm Mr. Michael Samuel. So remember to subscribe to my channel, watch, like, and also comment. See you in the next video. Thank you.